3, 2, 1. Wow, that's David DeCoteau! His films are known for their thrills, high-concept gothic horror, and subtle homoeroticism. Hey everyone, we're Nefarious Reels. I'm David DeCoteau's biggest fan. Ninjedi.
And I'm not David DeCoteau.
Yeah. You can never be David DeCoteau. You will never be good enough to be David DeCoteau.
I guess not.
But we're Nefarious Reels, and we talk about bad movies. But instead of the usual 2, instead we did 3, because we did a trilogy, because we're just so fucking awesome.
Yeah, we're so cool.
Yeah, good. Just we dab on all the haters. Yeah. You didn't see me, but I just totally dabbed. Very cool and very epic.
Very epic.
Very cool and very epic.
Nice.
Anyway, but enough of that. I pick the trilogy, and we're doing the Gingerdead Man trilogy because, we watched all those evil Bong movies. You might as well tackle the opposite of that, which is the 3 Gingerdead Man movies, which
features someone from Evil Bong.
Yeah.
Actress-wise.
True. But let's just get into it. We'll start with the first one, from 2005, directed by Charles Band. And
fuck him.
Yeah, come on, man. You gotta give him credit you gotta give him credit. He directed the first 2 Evil Bongs. You have to remember that. He's not a complete hack. Okay, let's agree on this. He's a bad director, but he's produced a lot of cool stuff. He did. Look, before we continue further, Gingerdead Man is about Gary Busey breaks into a diner and shoots some people. Then he gets murdered, and then he becomes a killer gingerbread man cookie, and yeah. You know what? Let's make this fun.
Yeah.
I got all these little mini liquor bottles. Let's do a drinking game. Every time we say gingerbread instead of gingerdead, I'll take a swig of Fireball whiskey. It's fine. I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so it's good.
Oh, I was about to say, do you want me to join you even though I do go to work?
Yeah, you do have to go to work. No, you should be the responsible one. You get to drink like in every other episode. Let me have this, Cole.
That is true. Okay. Don't worry. I'm drinking on Friday night for Rebel Moon's premiere, so.
But
yeah.
Yeah, so, and then, Gary Busey becomes, the Gingerdead Man. I'm going to try to not make it too easy. I'm going to try to avoid saying the word I said, to see how far I go. We'll have a little counter underneath every time one of us screws up. I'm begging that you're not going to sabotage
don't forget,
me.
He also, no, I was about to say, because don't forget that he had his ashes mailed to his mother.
Yeah.
Who then, put it in. I think it works in this case, obviously, because gingerbread.
Oh, fuck you.
You
motherfucker. The mix.
Hey. That doesn't count. That does not count because
I'm
talking about.
No, but you said the word. You said the
No.
You said the titular word.
Gingerdead.
He's the Gingerdead Man, but they think if you say the main, like I'm doing like the main word just entirely, because how often are we actually gonna say that word specifically?
But they're making it, and it was the batter flour dough, so I think it doesn't count.
Well, I say it does count.
I make the rules. It doesn't count.
It's mine. You make the rules. Wow. I'm the one who does the game. Who's doing the game? Okay, I'm gonna take the shot, and then okay, I'll take half a sip. How about that?
Okay, yeah, let's meet in the middle.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, but yeah, he becomes the Gingerdead Man, and then everyone runs around a bakery for an hour, and occasionally the Gingerdead Man might do something. Cole, what'd you think of the Gingerdead Man?
This was the most boring out of all of them.
Oh yeah, 100%. This is actually my 3rd time I've seen this movie.
Not even kidding. Why have you seen this 3 times?
The first time was way back in the day when I was just starting getting into these bad movies, and the title intrigued me enough.
Okay.
I was like, whoa, Gingerdead Man. It's just like the other thing that I can't say because drinking. It ain't the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Doughboy.
Anyway,
but other than that, even with Gary Busey though, it's just kind of yeah. Like Gary Busey could do some I don't want to say Nick Cage style weirdness, but he can be weird enough, but he wasn't even here.
He was
He's
barely
in
in the
it for like the
movie.
first, whatever, couple minutes, and then it's his voice as the Gingerdead Man.
Okay, but to be fair, in
And
like
that's like
most
it.
movies, they would have the big star for like a minute and then they're never seen again for the rest of the movie. So at least you still have Gary
Yeah.
Busey in it in a way. Also, fun fact,
Yeah, that is fair.
did you recognize the building they're in at the start?
No.
Cadillac Jack's? No? That's the same restaurant that Megan is Missing happens in.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's full
shared universe.
It's all
confirmed.
connected. That was, I swear, because when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute, I remember that. It's in the fucking behind the scene featurette. Michael
Oh my
Goy
God.
talks about how because Cadillac Jack's is specifically a fake restaurant for shoot movie stuff in. I was like, oh my fucking God, it's
my
Megan is Missing.
God.
I can't wait to tell Cole. What is this? Some kind of crossover episode?
Hey. And then next thing you know, Michael Goy just pops out of nowhere just saying, hey. That's it.
That he just says, hey. And then Vin
Yeah, he
Diesel
just says,
shows
"Hey,
up
I
and he
made a
goes,
very
it's
important-"
about family.
It's about family. And then Paul Walker's like, I drive a car with unicorns on it.
But yeah, Gary
And
Busey,
then, Richard shows up.
and we go, Richard.
Okay, I think we're done now.
And then Thanksgiving, and then Turkey shows up and goes, gobble, gobble, motherfucker. How many more iconic lines can we keep fishing out of this?
He's a big-breasted lady going, nice tits, bitch.
And then Ricky goes,
What are
naughty
we,
this.
some kind of Suicide Squad? And then Will Smith, yeah, what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
And then Clint Howard goes, your ice cream.
Your ice cream.
And then that teacher from Dr. Alien goes, show me your penis.
Show me your penis. Yep.
I don't know. What I think that.
And then David DeCoteau goes, hey, I'm David DeCoteau here in Evil Bong 420.
And then Whitey goes, that's a technical foul. Oh my God, the liquor's the half a sip of liquor's already kicking in. Oh no.
What was it you said? It was Fireball?
Yeah, Fireball whiskey that's been sitting on my desk for about a year. So it's good. It's finally aged cinnamon whiskey. But
the best aged cinnamon whiskey.
Exactly. But yeah, Gary Busey's there and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna kill ya. He's like, I'm gonna kill ya. I'm gonna shoot you. And he kills everyone except for the teenage girl. What's her name?
Mm-hmm.
And because he can't kill women, because his mom told him that if he does, that's not very based or like red pilled of him.
Yeah.
And that problem.
The main girl from
the main girl
was in Evil Bong.
Evil Bong 420.
Yes,
because she has such an important role.
Sarah Lee. Yep.
And then
that was the name in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but then Gary Busey gets captured by the police. He gets executed, and now we're like a month or two later, or like a week. Time has passed. And now she's sad, and she's working in this bakery that's like failing because there's a new competitor who's gonna come and run them out of business. And she's sad.
Some Texan place, and
he's like,
the alcoholic mom is
I
just
am
shooting a shotgun.
She shoots his banner down. What an asshole!
And he's like, "What in tarnation?"
He was like, "Howdy, partner. It is I, Texan man, and you're shooting my sign." I support the Second Amendment, but not when it infringes on my property rights. And pretty much, he's the evil Texan guy with his like spoiled daughter.
Yep.
And he's just like, I'm going to run you out of business, or I can buy you out for all the money ever. And she's like, no, I refuse.
It was like $50,000, I think they said.
Was it? I thought it was like $5,000.
And then Ms. Waco's like, it was 5,000 or 50 or something. It was something with a 5 and 1,000 in there.
Yes.
And she's like, that's a lot of money. I'm like, not really anymore. Well, I mean, even if you were down the line, like, even since 2005, 5,000 isn't usually a lot per year.
I don't know. Did you see the state of the
Oh,
bakery they're in? $5,000 probably would be a lot for them.
yeah, that
I
would
got
be.
things I can complain about that scene, cause she gets the gingerbread. Fuck. Okay, she gets the gingerbread stuff. Hold on. Okay, so she gets the I'm not doing it. No, no. So she gets the cookie
The
mix.
ginger.
Yeah, the ginger cookie stuff from a mysterious woman, which first off should raise alarm bells. I don't know, maybe it's like a support your local business kind of thing. But what pisses me off, because there's that,
Support small
yeah,
businesses.
there's the butcher baker guy, and what I hate about his scene is that she prepares the batter, but he gets a cut, and they hold the cut over the batter, and that's a health hazard. That's like a contamination. That's like a blood. That's a pathogen, blood pathogen contamination. They teach you this shit,
Yeah.
and like when you go work at
Oh,
the grocery store,
yeah.
that's like, oh, if you have like you can't put cooked stuff next to raw stuff because then that can cross contaminate,
Yep.
and you can't put raw stuff above cooked stuff because that'll go down and contaminate. And if you think you like bleed
Mm-hmm.
into something you're preparing, like even if
He
you
probably didn't wash. He probably didn't wash his hands either.
like, they're like, even if you
That would be
prepare
another
everything and you
violation.
notice the cut, even if you don't know if you were bleeding at the time that you were making it, you gotta toss that because you did. You can get in trouble, you can get someone sick, and that's like terrible. And this isn't like a mistake where it's just like one little droplet you don't see. That hand is visibly bleeding into the batter, and they still use it anyway. Like, there is a difference between like minor negligence and just full on just being ignorant and clearly risking someone's life there. Like, even
Yep.
if that was an evil cookie mix, like what the fuck? They deserve to get shut down. If you're asking me, in my opinion. But they cook
Very irresponsible.
very irresponsible, and pretty much they cook it up, and then I don't remember if lightning strikes or their like furnace is also evil or something. Their cooking oven's also evil, but it gives birth to Gary Busey Gingerdead Man.
Reincarnated.
Yep, reincarnated as
Yep.
a big cookie,
Yep.
and then nothing
'Cause
happens
that's
for
how
like
we like our
another
serial killers.
50 minutes. Because really nothing happens. We have like, you have Sarah Lee, you have the mother, you have employee girl, you have butcher baker, you got like what, Amos I think his name is, like the cool the gruff guy, and then you have like spoiled daughter, and you have the Texan dude, and only like two of
Yep.
those characters, no, three of those characters die technically, but like nothing interesting really happens. Like, the first death is Texas guy, and he gets hit by like the car, and that's like kind of dumb. And the spoiled girl gets killed in a weird way where she like activates a pulley and it drops like a bag of flour, and then a knife gets blasted into her head for some reason. And the whole thing's stupid too, because like, why don't they just leave? Like, literally nothing's stopping them. They can just like run really fast. They'll like, because it's just a fucking cookie. Like, its stumpy little legs cannot run nearly as fast as a human can. Like, 10 cookie steps is probably equates to like one normal step of a human. But they're like, no, we can't leave, because what if he's out there? What if the like 1 foot tall cookie is out there again and tries to kill us? Like, you can't just like step on it or something.
No. Obviously not, but no one thinks of that.
No, and because they're all stupid. They're so stupid. The only, and they cop us out on some kills too. Like, the mom gets her finger, the drunk mom gets her finger cut off, and then that's just it. And then the random employee girl, she just gets like frosted and like put in the freezer, but she doesn't get killed. Only the two antagonistic characters get killed, and the third guy, which is the butcher baker. And his is the best death. I'll give him credit. That death is the best one, because it's everything's his fault pretty much.
Yep.
But he eats the Gingerdead Man, and then that allows Gabriel Busey to possess him, and then they just throw him in the fucking oven and like cook him alive. And it's like, yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get for doing cross contamination, you motherfucker. And now you have to burn in hell forever for your one mistake.
Yeah, because you didn't do proper kitchen etiquette. Well,
maybe this is
cooking me.
maybe this film's secretly like a PSA, like those those videotapes,
Oh,
like and then like because after he burns
yeah.
alive, like you have a scene where the guy in the suit walks out and he's like, you see, that's what'll happen if
Yep.
you don't pay attention to your cuts, because that contamination can lead to something like this. You don't want this to happen to you. But then after that, I guess because those three people died in the bakery, I guess that made it incredibly popular. Because everyone's like, yo, bro, 3 people died in this bakery. We should totally go there and buy some cookies, bro.
Yeah, because it's cool and totally not going to get shut
Yeah,
down.
business is like booming now, and they're making like so
Business
much
is
money.
booming.
Business is booming. Vine boom. And then, apparently, I think it's in the credits that like almost all those people that are at the bakery at the end, those are all
Mm-hmm.
like family members of Charles Band, which is neat. That's a neat detail.
Interesting.
Like, I think the kids that show up, I
Nepotism.
think those are actually his kids. I don't think if it was nepotism, they would have been in the whole movie. And then they're just like, "Do you have any the ginger cookies?" And they're like, "No, we don't." And then these two hot nurses, for some reason, that are there, they're like, actually, a lady came by and dropped these off." And I guess those are also Gary Busey cookies because
I
they
get.
their
Yeah,
eyes
I
show up
guess.
and they go boogity boogity boogity,
A booga booga booga.
and that's like the whole movie pretty much. There's a lot of like weird shaky cam, like tilting of camera stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was
There was a lot of Dutch angles. It's actually crazy.
yeah, because this film is really a great auteur movie. The Gingerdead Man, really, because the Dutch angles are representative of like
Yeah.
the fracturing mind of these people as they're being tortured by this cookie, this Gary Busey cookie.
Oh.
So it's like it's really actually really deep. This is honestly Funny Games if Funny Games was good.
Okay. Which version of Funny Games are you talking about, though?
I'm clearly talking
The
about the
Austrian one or the American one?
clearly the American one because they speak English in it, which automatically makes it the better one because we don't have to read subtitles. Because reading
Yeah,
is
that's true.
gross.
Because reading subtitles is woke.
If I wanted to
And
read,
that's
I
why
would read
Parasite won, because
a
it was
book.
woke. I would read a bow.
I would read a bow.
I would read a
The
bow.
Bong Joon-ho Parasite is actually based off the Charles Band directed movie Parasite. It's totally true.
God.
Trust me.
Wait, there's a Charles Band movie called Parasite?
Yep, it's just one of his earlier ones. It's like 1979 or something. Possible future recommendation. Back to back Charles Band recommendations. I could do it. I can do
Oh,
it, you
yeah.
son of a bitch. So don't piss me off. Don't get me too drunk. Or it could happen. What else is there to add? There's not really much to add. I liked Amos. I love the punk guy.
There is, yeah, not a lot in this movie. Oh, actually, and I want to talk about the punk rock guy. He and then Sarah Lee, they like start forming some kind of connective bond, I was kind of funny because it's like, well, A, out of nowhere, and then B, when it happens, like their chemistry is just so bland.
Oh my
You're
god.
just kind of thinking, oh man, they're in love now.
No,
If one of them gets
it's
killed,
it's not out of nowhere. They're both getting murdered by trying to get killed by a Gingerdead Man. So that means they have a connection like that. So if they belong together.
oh,
I do think they also talk
okay.
about how they do have a level of connection. At the very least, I think Amos was at Sarah Lee's birthday, I believe. So they do know each other. It's not like they didn't know them before that
Yeah, they
moment.
said they knew each other when they were kids, but it was almost like he forgot about her, and then there was just, a let's get to know each other again. But it was just kind of, like, again, boring. A lot of this was just boring.
Yeah, this is super boring. Like I said, this is my third time seeing it, and my thoughts on this film has not changed. This is easily the worst one of the three, and it just so happened to be directed by Charles Band, who, once again, I
Is
should
a
note,
dick.
Charles Band has produced a lot of cool movies. Like I'll tell you some of them right now once Letterbox loads in. Let's see. He produced let's see. Hold on, give me a minute. It's gonna be hold on. Maybe I should go to executive producer actually. That's probably what I'm trying to think of, not produce. Yeah, he was the executive producer of From Beyond. He Tourist Trap, Dolls, that's actually pretty good. He's executive producer of Sorority Babes as the Slime Bolorama. Whoa,
A David DeCoteau classic.
yeah. Oh, whoa, he's the executive producer of Freeway 2. I own that on 4K.
Hmm.
Let's see. He was the executive producer of Demonic Toys. Iconic, dare
Yes.
I say.
Scott the Woz, great performance.
Spellcaster, that's pretty good. He's executive produced a lot of really good 6 out of 10 movies, man. You gotta give, and a lot of David DeCoteau films, so he's good in my book. And I know that his company has actually helped make also a lot of great movies too. Like he used to be Empire before it went under. That's got like a lot of really good stuff too. Empire Studios, like Reanimator and stuff. So as much as you might hate him as director, you do have to respect him at least for his work.
I guess for his more for his production, for his directing, no, he's kind of sucks.
I don't know.
And racist.
We should probably
and
at least.
And...
Nah, I don't think he's that. I think he's just appealing to the lowest common denominator.
The edgy teenagers.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, it worked. We're watching
Frat
him.
boy douchebags.
It's working. We watch them, don't we?
Yeah, but are we edgy teenagers or frat boy douchebags? No.
I mean, we're like the next tier below it, pretty much.
Unless you're not telling me something.
I know. Yeah, yo, bro, let's go pop a squat on the keg, my man. I don't know. I mean, apparently Transfers is actually really good, and he directed that, and I have the 4K, so maybe I'll watch that after I watch Justice League, the Joss Sweden cut.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, please. Well, honestly, I feel sorry for you both ways because both of them aren't even that good.
We'll see. Who knows? Maybe I love
whether it's the 2 or 4 hour cut.
Look, I liked Batman v Superman more than the rest of you heathens. So, who knows? Maybe I'll enjoy one of the two. And I like Sucker Punch more than the common denominator. Sucker Punch is funny. It's so funny. But it probably helped that every time they said she dances good, I was like, no, she's morbing. You have to see her morb. She morbed all over them.
Well, if Morbius fought Batman and Superman, Morbius would win in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be too short of a movie, though. That's why they didn't include him.
Yeah, that's obviously why.
But right, Gingerdead Man. Anything left you have to add about that?
Gingerdead Man. Boring. Did I mention boring?
No, you didn't. You should say it another 5 times.
I mean, just for a movie about a killer Gingerdead Man, it was just disappointing that they didn't really, go that much into it. I mean, thankfully, the other two at least do things more.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I think the third does a lot more with the premise than any of the other two, but this one really did nothing. It just had Gary Busey as a dead Gingerdead Man, just
a what?
Killing people, and I said a dead Gingerdead Man.
Oh, okay. Well, he was an alive Gingerdead Man. I think
I'm talking about his human form.
Okay. But if I were to boil it down, this is what I can think is the biggest issue with the first film. Is that it takes itself seriously. Look at Evil Bong. Evil Bong knows it's a stupid idea and rolls with it as more of a comedy. Gingerdead Man thinks, oh, here's this cookie and we'll make this like a serious thing and try to treat this thing as a threat. Where the sequels are aware of how stupid this is, and pretty much they just roll with it. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right about that. This tone-wise definitely did take itself a lot more seriously for a movie called Gingerdead Man, and made no sense really.
Yeah, so comparing it to its rival, Evil Bong. Which one is better? Evil Bong. Evil Bong gets the point. We're doing a point-based thing
I would
on
say Evil
Gingerdead
Bong.
versus Evil Bong here, because they got a movie called that. So, point goes to Evil Bong, naturally, because it's actually a little funny. Better use of their
And you
celebrity
also included
cameo.
a stoner comedy with Tommy Chong,
Yeah,
so
better use of their celebrity cameo over Gary Busey, even though Gary Busey's in the movie more. Tommy Chong really gives it his all. It's a shame he didn't return in any of the future Evil Bong movies.
mm-hmm.
I guess if we're done with Gingerdead Man 1, now we'll talk about Gingerdead Man 2, Passion of the Crust. Which, fun fact, there's two
Passion of the Crust.
Passion.
Yeah, or what was the other one? Bakery of Blood.
No, Passion of the Crust is way better.
There was another title on it.
It's especially if you get, I think, there's two DVD covers, and the first one has the Gingerdead Man nailed to the cross, which is like clearly the superior one over the one where he's busting out of a pie. Luckily, I was able to get the one where he's nailed on the cross. Unfortunately, they didn't have any more of those ones. I think that was like a limited release thing.
Damn.
So you only got the one with the pie crust, unfortunately. Sorry. Ripperoni.
Sadly.
Very sad. But
pepperoni.
Gingerdead Man 2 is about how Charles Band hates this is Charles Band's full moon interpretation, as he's this optimistic guy running a company that is basically on the verge of collapsing, which is called Cheatham's and definitely not Full Moon. As everything's falling apart.
Definitely not a ripoff of Full Moon.
And David DeCoteau is in this movie, and he's amazing, and I love him, and he's the highlight out of really all of these movies. Though Gingerdead Man 3 comes really close with that ending scene. Ooh, boy, man. Also, the Gingerdead Man's in this movie, too. Yeah, we'll get to that. And the Gingerdead Man...
Gingerdead Man's in there.
Gingerdead Man is in there, too,
David
but
DeCoteau.
He's not very important. I mean, the Gingerdead Man is trying to kill like 6 people so he can like turn back into human, I guess.
For some ritual.
He's turning
it was
stale.
To turn human.
I was thinking it's a reference to Child's Play, because you know how in Child's Play he's like turning into the doll form and he's bleeding against, so he has to like get a human host. I'm thinking it's something similar to that.
Yep.
Or either that or I'm giving it too much credit. Cole, what'd you think of Gingerdead Man 2, Passion of the Crust?
Still boring to me, but less boring than the first one. Well, because both it has David DeCoteau, but B, it also at least feels like it did stuff, even if it was still uninteresting most of the time. And even and I just thought of this too when you mentioned Child's Play, it was kind of funny because in these sequels, you see them mention these movies. They reference movies a lot more in those other two. Because you had like Child's Play. You're probably definitely got Passion of the Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh God, I don't even. Oh, the opening song. Run, run, run
as fast as you can. I literally cringed into myself.
Only thing I could think of was the Bad Reputation song from Shrek.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
There's like nothing else that it clearly that's what it is.
But I don't know if it was probably not the same group, obviously. But
yeah, it's clearly their parody. It was a parody of it, but it's like, oh my God, what are you doing?
But yeah,
stop.
Because they were like, hey, Shrek was popular. Let's do something let's make a song due to one of the beats in the soundtrack.
When did Shrek come out? I think Shrek was way too ahead for them to
2002.
consider that. Yeah, this came out in 2008, so that's like 6 years. That's a little too long for them to go, we'll rip off Shrek because we're so evil.
Well, I mean, Shrek the Third came out the year before.
Yeah, but they weren't playing Bad Reputation in it. They were playing the 007 song.
And that was
Live
2
and
years
Let
before
Pie.
Kick-Ass
That's
did
what
it,
they'd call it. Live and Let Pie. Bah, 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 bah.
Man.
Live and Let Pie. Gingerdead Man 4.
Pie. Burn, 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 no.
It's there. They have the opportunity in the
Okay.
sequel, in the fourth one, which we will talk about. Unfortunately, it is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the really the Gingerdead Man is just like a secondary figure in this. The main one is what is it like fucking Kelvin.
Are we Calvin?
That's his name and the thing. He's labeled
Yeah,
he's
the
credited K
producer.
Vaughn. That's like the actor name. I guess he didn't want to have his real name on this project. I don't know why.
I
David
guess he was
DeCoteau's
just
in
so
it.
ashamed that he was like, I'm in a fucking movie called, you know, Gingerdead Man 2, and I don't want people to know what my real name is. I don't want my family to know I was in this. I told them I was in a movie, but this was it.
But yeah, the whole plot is him with his studio that's on the verge of collapse because they're making Tiny Terrors 9 with the
Yep.
titular puppets, and he's leading around this like lady with this like guy in a wheelchair that's about to die, and he's giving a tour of the place.
Yeah,
Well,
he's like a Make-A-Wish person.
yeah, he's like end of the rainbow.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what and their version of Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, so they're walking around and they're showing everything as the Gingerdead Man murders a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
people, and I don't know what to say about this movie actually. I mean, I can gush about the David DeCoteau scenes for about like 20 minutes if you want.
Um,
It's so weird because this is still kind of a lot more not. It's similar to Gingerdead Man 2, or Gingerdead Man
that's
1,
Dead Man
where
1.
nothing.
Yeah,
All the films
that's what I was
fear a
saying.
thing where like nothing really happens in these movies. Like things happen, but nothing of real substance.
Yeah, it's not like,
Except for David DeCoteau, naturally. He like when he
uh-huh.
shows up, I listen,
Yeah,
and
I
he's
mean, it's
in.
kind of like,
Oh no, you finish your sentence. You go.
oh, no, I was just about to say, when you talk about substance, yeah, it's not like, when we were watching Jason Goes to Hell, where, Jason's coming in and he's, taking possession of other people's bodies and killing people along the way. Well, he's got some distant relative who's like the only person who can kill him because of some prophecy or some shit.
Yeah, you got
And
like
then, like, there's at least a story going on. This is just drama on a movie set, and then the Gingerdead Man's there, and that's it.
shows up, goes boo, and then you go ah.
Boo, and then stabby stab.
Ooh, ee,
Started
ooh,
stabbing.
bing, bang, wada, wada, bing, bang.
Bang, walla walla,
Ooh,
bing bang.
ee, ooh,
Ooh, ee, ooh,
bee,
ooh,
boo,
ching
bee,
chang,
bang,
walla
wada,
walla,
wada,
bing
bing,
bing bing.
bang. I told the witch doctor I am in love with you. Bum, 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 bum.
We should just do karaoke instead.
We could, but let's not. We gotta talk about this movie.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, hey, the old guy that was in this movie who
Mm-hmm.
kills everyone at the end, he was in Showgirls.
Yeah. Yes.
All connected. It
It's
never
all
ends.
connected. It never ends.
I can't wait to see what connection the third film has to one of these other movies. Uh,
Yeah, I
but
don't
uh,
know.
but like the Gingerdead Man 2, it basically is just like a parody of Full Moon. Really, you have like all like the porn,
Mm-hmm.
the sex stuff, and you have the like
Yep.
the I guess either the demonic toy slash puppet master ripoff things with like the tiny
Just with all
terrors.
the puppets.
Yeah, you have like shit for brains. You got the living dildo, and then you got like
That
pirate
one was
puppet,
honestly my favorite
the living dildo.
because of how stupid it looked.
It looked like the shrimp from Smiling Friends.
Oh
Like,
god, I
you know,
forgot what his
specifically
name
the
was.
shot where he's
Yeah.
wearing the leather jacket. He's like, "How do I look, yellow
How do I
man?
look, yellow man?
You look like you're about to
You
tell
look
your
like you're
friend not
gonna
to
tell
come
your
to."
friend not to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Call. You look like you're about to tell your friend not to come to school tomorrow.
Oh man, excited for season 2.
I need to win back Shrimpette.
Pim, her name is Shrimpette. She'd be a shrimp. I don't. I'm sorry, Charlie. I'll go to the doctor to get my eyes checked
Dude, you need
tomorrow.
glasses like now.
Pim, those aren't nuts. Those are worms. Oh, this old thing. No,
Small moo.
don't worry, Pim. I'll cheer up. It's Smarmoo. You all voted,
Moo.
and we listened.
He's the newest smiling friend, and then he dies.
And then he's dead by the end. Rip Smormu.
Yep.
Man, myth, legend, Smormu.
Very shameful.
Gingerdead Man 2. David DeCoteau's in this movie, and he's in it way more than 420. You get a scene where the actor goes, Mr. DeCoteau, how was I? And he was like, was the frame in focus? And it was like, yeah, it looks like it to me. He's like, yeah, you were great. Then you have the scene that I referenced where the guy in wheelchair goes, wow, David DeCoteau, his films are known for their thrills. It's something of gothic horror and
he was
subtle
almost
homoeroticism.
and for a second, I was like, "Is that you in the movie?"
And it's like, wow, that's literal. Yeah, that guy, he was literally me.
He's literally you.
He's that guy is my
Just imagine if it was actually
Ryan Gosling. I mean, it could have been. Hey, David, how's this for the moonwalk scene? Love it. And then
Beautiful.
there's a later scene where he's just like, give me back my mic or something. Or he's like, give me back my newspaper. Oh, iconic. There's 3 scenes that David DeCoteau is superior to the one scene from Evil Bong 420 by like leagues ahead. I don't know. I've been saying a lot, but what do you have to say about Gingerdead Man 2?
I mean, yeah, just kind of like I said, it does nothing most of the time. But, I mean, there was some cool, trying to think of like positive things. I mean, some of like the props on the movie sets look nice.
There were definitely more kills. That was fun.
There were more kills.
I did
lots of blood.
I like the scene near the end where the guy has his eyeball hanging out and he's like, "You can't panic!" He says as he has his eyeball hanging out, is all bloody, and then gets vaporized by the Gingerdead Man because he's in a giant robot. Cool. He's like, "This is very cringe," as he dissolves into nothing.
Dissolves and, is gone.
He's dead. And there are more kills. A guy gets a hot hair curling iron shoved up his butt, and 2 people have sex, and they get stabbed together. And
he like stabs them. Well, he stabs the lady first, and then he gets it into the dude as a double stabby stab.
Big flex, because he's so cool.
Yep.
We really look up to him.
He is so cool.
What we were gonna do, we're about to do a thing, and then I forgot what I was going to say. I'm not even drunk. I had like 2 sips of like cinnamon whiskey. That's like barely any. Or is it just because I'm talking about the Gingerdead Man movies that I can't figure anything out?
That too, maybe. I don't know.
What can you say about... What do you say about Gingerdead Man 2 past David DeCoteau? I like the reveal where, like, at the start, they're like, there's this Demon Wind 13 guy, and he's boycotting all our movies. And it turns out, he's doing a book card and getting all these, like, retailers pull our movies off their shelves. And then it's revealed that the guy in the wheelchair, he was Demon Wind 13 because he's jealous that he won't make his movies.
Such a plot twist. I was like, I didn't expect that coming. Eat your heart out, Shyamalan.
Yeah, eat your heart out, Shyamalan.
Shyamalanga ding dong.
We were so in sync there. We knew what we were gonna say.
We were.
I guess I don't think we have anything left to say about Gingerdead Man 2.
I mean, what?
The opening was a little funny.
I mean, for real. What?
Like, it's just, like, boring, like, low effort, like, smut. And that was good. Throw gold! Throw gold! Keep throwing gold on her! Throw even more gold on her! And they all start fighting each other after... Because this is a meta movie. So they all start fighting each other because they learned that one person was getting paid and no one else is, so they start fighting. Which, naturally, that's what you just do.
Yeah, you just start fights on the set.
Oh, and the movie ends with him winning, like 20 Oscars, which is, like, good for him.
Yeah.
Tiny Terrors 9 really was the greatest movie ever made.
Yep. It was one of the movies of all time.
Yep. Alternate universe where Tiny Terrors 9 beats Green Book for Best Picture.
It's not that funny, but it somehow was to me for some reason. I don't know why.
I think it's just the delivery of my joke. It was just that good.
Yeah. Or maybe it was that I reminded myself that Green Book won Best Picture.
Well, I guess if we're done with that, we can move on to the next movie,
The
Gingerdead.
next dank one.
Yeah, Gingerdead Man 3, Saturday Night Slaughter.
Cleaver.
Cleaver? It's not Slaughter? Oh yeah, it is Saturday Night
Cleaver.
Cleaver.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess we can chalk before we
Does
go
it have
there.
another title again, too?
I don't know, maybe. I just
Oh,
want to
God.
check something for Gingerdead Man 2 real quick, because I'm curious.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So the directors of Gingerdead Man 2, they haven't worked on any
Yep.
other movie with the
Of
exception
course.
of Sylvia St. Croix, who directed the third one.
Hmm. Yep.
And speaking in Gingerdead Man 3, Sylvia
I did
also
notice that.
directed with a second person, William Butler. And the only things he's worked on is a bunch of other Full Moon films.
Cool.
Yeah, he worked on Baby Oopsie, Demonic Toys 2, all the Baby Oopsie movies, and the Demonic Jack Attack movie. And he directed a thing called Waffle Hut.
Waffle? Sounds like, Octagon for the battles and Waffle House,
Let's see. After graduating
The
from Brown University, Hope Daniels finds herself failing miserably trying to make a go of it in New York and ends up moving back to her hometown in Traver, Ohio. After realizing the small town has very little going on, Hope is forced to take a job at the local Waffle Hut.
Okay.
Oh, well, adding that to the watch list.
Might as well. All right. I actually got to use the bathroom quick, so give me like a couple minutes.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, I did not expect you just to appear out of nowhere. I thought there'd be a little bit more noise of you coming get back before you spoke.
No, I had the mic muted, so
Yeah, you gave me a heart attack
Yep.
there. Whew. But yeah, the Gingerdead Man 2 versus Evil
3.
Bong 2.
Oh, right.
Which one is the better? I think I'm gonna give it to 2 still, even though it has less DeCoteau in it.
Evil Bong 2?
Evil Bong 2, King Bong.
Yeah, I would say King Bong.
Yeah,
Because again, they at least travel places too in that one.
that is true. All right,
They
so
go to places.
next we have, let's see if the third one can topple Evil Bong 3, Wrath of Bong.
Mm-hmm.
So, Evil Bong 3, Saturday Night Cleaver.
Yep.
Once again, the Gingerdead Man is in the home for the mentally insane pastries or something like that, and he escapes and goes to their time traveling section, which all mental asylum places have, and he escapes to
Of course.
1976, and things happen. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Cole, what'd you think of Gingerdead Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver?
The most fun
You've ever had.
the 3. Not I don't know if I'd say ever had, but I'd say of the 3 this was the most fun.
All right.
Because it felt like, again, stuff was happening, but it also had some funny moments that were that made me chuckle a bit and was like, that's fun. That's funny.
That's funny.
It's funny.
It's funny. Well, I mean, I think that opening was really solid. It's another parody. It's a Silence of the Lambs parodies, but it's really goofy. They got a good actor to do the accent, which for the not female character of Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm.
And she's actually there to get revenge against Gingerdead Man for what he did to her
Yep.
But then a bunch of animal rights activists just bust in and start trying to free all the deranged cookies, I believe. I don't remember. I think it was animal rights activists. They're activists of some kind.
Yeah, they were like animal rights activists, and it's just, do these people not realize that they didn't even look like animals
Well, I think they just believe
unless
it's
they were
like
like way
animal
too
testing
high or
things.
something?
I think it was like animal
Oh,
testing
yeah.
thing. Also, want to say the female security boss, I think, was like one of my favorite characters. She's in it for very
She was
little, but go,
funny,
girl boss, go.
but she uses the time well,
Yep. Unfortunately, she's not in the whole movie. But
unfortunately.
but Gingerdead Man gets free and gets to make his escape in a time machine and goes back to 1976.
Yep,
And then he's just like, well, I guess I go back to killing now. Which I do think is a bit of a detriment to the movie.
but
Because it's
with
this.
disco.
Yeah, it's true. I think, yeah, it's a little annoying because he's just killing for like no reason. At least in the other two movies, there's like a
Mhm.
reason for it. Because in the first one, he's getting revenge on the lady who like got him on the electric chair. In the second film, he's doing
Yep.
it to get a human host. Oh, I can't
And
believe
then the
I
theory is just like,
forgot. Wait, I
fuck
can't
it, let's
believe we
just
forgot
kill.
to say in the second film that they do the ritual, but he ends up bringing the tiny terror puppets to life, and then they nail him to the cross.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't believe we didn't talk about that. That iconic ending.
that ending
You didn't like
worth it.
clap and like go, "Oh my god, that's just like Passion of the Christ." And it's like, wait a minute, that's like the title of this movie. Oh my god. But yeah, back to the
Okay.
third one. Yeah, he's just killing for the sake of killing now. And
Yeah,
once
he's just
again,
like,
it takes
fuck
a.
it. If as long as I'm a Gingerdead Man, I might as well just be start killing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's kind of a letdown because
Yeah.
it takes, I feel, even more of a
Mm-hmm.
backseat to what's the main plot, which is psychic, not Carrie girl, wants to find her, take over the roller rink, but her grandma, aunt, whatever, says, no, you can't because
Ant.
aunt. You say aunt?
Unt.
Aunt.
Ant.
It's aunt.
I say it the way I want to. This is a free country.
Oh yeah, fine. Say it the wrong way, I guess. Ugh.
Well, if people can pronounce milk with an E in there for some reason.
How do you pronounce bag?
Bag.
Bag. Bag.
Bag.
Bag.
Bag.
Bag.
Bag.
Bag.
Okay, this is gonna go on for
Am
a
I
while.
just gaslighting you? I feel like you're saying bag, but I'm gaslighting you thinking you're not.
Bag.
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 I don't know. How am I not saying it the same way?
I
I'm
don't
saying
know.
bag.
I'm saying bag too. I think we're just saying bag and we're just thinking the other person is saying it differently for no reason.
Different
Okay, let
dialects.
me say bag and then you
That
say bag and we'll see what happens. Bag.
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 Yeah, bag. Okay, actually, we should talk about the movie. I hope our listeners love
Yeah.
hearing us say bag for the next 5 minutes because that's what happened.
Get your popcorn ready.
Yep.
It's quite an adventure.
Yep. But it's pretty much
Mm-hmm.
that's really the whole plot. There's not much. Gingerdead Man kills
Yep.
people. He shoots down 3 people having an orgy with a nail gun. He gets his dick ripped off. That was pretty great.
Yep. That was funny.
That was,
Again, another movie they were referencing, Porky's.
I have not seen Porky's.
They referenced that in the movie. I haven't seen it either, but I know the one scene, and I've seen that a couple times. So yeah, I kind of figured that. They also referenced Silence of the Lambs at the beginning
Yeah, I mentioned that.
with, Clarissa Darling, and, the Gingerdead Man had the Hannibal Lecter mask on.
I think I like that dick pulling off scene because it's a reference going, oh, right, he's just a cookie. Why don't they just, like, break him in half?
Mm-hmm.
And they fulfill that later at the end.
They do, but
I
it
know.
takes a while.
We can wait a little bit before we talk
Because
about the
movie.
very epic climax. They reference Carrie because they do the blood scene, but it doesn't work out. It actually lands
Yes,
on a
they do.
popular girl instead. Oh, did you like the scene with the aunt
Um,
trauma dunce her like tragic backstory about how she used to leap over barrels and she's literally the reason why Pearl Harbor
yeah,
happened?
yeah. I was like, wait, what? Like, because you did this, this is why Pearl Harbor happened?
Like, if I wasn't there
That's
distracting
like
this truce with my super epic barrel jumping skills, they would have been on their stations to defend Pearl
Pearl
Harbor,
Harbor wouldn't have happened.
which is like, you know, a
It
little.
was very out of left field and just confusing. Like, how did that cause? I'm just curious as
It's
to
also really
why that
weird because,
caused Pearl
but the
Harbor.
way she explains your story, it sounds like we were already in the war, but
Uh
because
huh.
Pearl Harbor happened, we weren't in the war yet. Like Pearl Harbor happened because the
Yeah.
Japanese wanted to cripple our navy, so that way we wouldn't have the ability to really enter the war, which didn't work out because we just went into it
Mm-hmm.
anyway. But you know, whatever continuity, who cares? Alternate timelines or something, multiverses. You know, yo, bro, you
Yeah.
dig on
Something
multiverse
about
theory?
multiverses in there. You dig on multiverses?
And pretty much after trauma dumping on her niece, she's just like, "Well, I'm sorry your
Yep.
life sucks, but I got my own dreams and ambitions." And the aunt's like, "Damn, girl, you right. Okay, you can take over the roller rink, even though it's gonna close down tonight because we need $80,000 for property
Because
taxes."
we don't have the money. And then there's those three girls who are like, bikini car
And they
wash.
raise $2, and then they get killed by
Yep.
hydrofluoric acid.
Acid. And
Acid.
they were doing a lot of jumping and jiggling,
Ha
and
ha ha! Yeah,
there was
we're in
someone behind the
bikinis.
camera whacking off because they were
Charles
like,
Band.
yeah, Charles Band probably being like, because if that was at that point, just make porn then, you fucking weirdo. Just make porn. You don't need to do it in this movie if you just make porn. I'm
It
just
might not be
saying.
fair for us to dunk on Charles Band since, you know, he didn't direct this movie.
Or whoever decided, or whoever in the director chair decided that of the two.
But yeah, there's just a bunch of murders, and then everyone gets killed. Do we want to skip the climax? The very epic climax?
The very epic, funny
The
climax that
greatest climax in
makes
cinematic
your
history?
jaw just drop.
Oh, 100%. I bursted out laughing. So, there's these two kids, and they find the time travel remote that the Gingerdead Man had, and they inadvertently get sent back in time. But near the end of the movie, they come back, and they're just like, "We formed our own team that can go up against to stop you." And I thought they were gonna bring back
We
like the.
brought the Avengers.
I thought that they were gonna bring back like the girl from the first movie,
Uh huh.
because apparently she's in this one, though I don't know fucking who. And they're like, it takes form, and it's
Mm-hmm.
fucking Adolf Hitler. They're like, Adolf Hitler. It's like,
Adolf
what?
Hitler, Jeffrey
Char-
Dahmer,
Charles
Charles
Manson.
Manson, who technically didn't even murder anybody, but still
I
part of a
mean,
cult,
cult
and
that
then
led to
Lizzie
murder.
Borden. Yeah, that's true.
And then they
And
also
then
bring.
Lizzie Borden, who I'm not familiar
I'm
with.
pretty sure she's famous
And
for
then they,
like murdering her whole family with an axe.
yeah, she did have an axe, so.
For some reason, I was gonna say she was Anne Hathaway, but I'm pretty sure that's not right.
Yeah, I don't think Anne Hathaway would have wanted to be in this, honestly.
No, I'm saying Anne Hathaway murdered her family with an axe.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the actress was Anne Hathaway.
Maybe it is, and we just
That
don't
made it
know.
more funny. It's a disguise.
Yep. She's like, this was my dream role, honestly, to play this homicidal murderer. And they just bring all these serial killers, and they also bring back the not main female from Silence of the
Yeah,
Lambs
the
and black security guard lady. She comes
Jodie
back.
Foster ripoff.
They knew
Yeah,
that
they at
she
least
was the
bring her
best
back,
character,
so
and they
that was
brought her
fun.
back. And they literally rip apart the Gingerdead Man.
Mm-hmm.
Also, really weird. They give the Gingerdead Man a Texan accent, which is really weird because I know they don't have Gary Busey, but at
Yeah,
least in the second one, it felt like a genuine
I think they
attempt to replicate
changed.
it.
I think they changed actors for all three of them because I
Yeah,
think this one was different from the second two,
yeah. But I
and there
like,
was more CGI also to this cookie.
yeah, it was like the. I didn't like this. I think this is my least favorite Gingerdead Man cookie iteration. He looks so like weird
Mm-hmm.
and like disproportionate to like the other two.
I didn't like the. I definitely didn't like the face
I
on
hate
him.
that he has like human eyes.
That too. And again, like I said, like when they show the running animations in the CGI form, it was kind of
goofy.
very off-putting and stupid. Yeah.
I went, ha, that's funny.
Ha 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 ha.
But yeah, they literally
It's
murdered the shit
funny.
out of the Gingerdead Man, and then they have a dance party at the end. The kids give the aunt
Yeah.
a winning lottery ticket to save the roller
Yeah,
rink.
because yep, they obviously went into the future and saw that, oh, we got the winning lottery ticket for you.
And
You can save the roller rink. Yay.
when we say everyone have a dance party, we mean everyone. Hitler, Dahmer, Manson,
Jeffrey Dahmer, Manson,
they all
Gordon,
have the roller rink
everybody.
dance party, and then they send them all back to their timeline. It's like, bye, be good. And the aunt also goes back there to like defeat the Japs and stop Pearl Harbor from happening.
Yeah, again, why? I just can't wait for that butterfly effect to happen of what would have.
I don't know. Maybe Gingerdead Man 4. Maybe that happens. We can tie up all the loose ends.
Maybe.
Charles Band, call
And then
us.
Ashton Kutcher comes out of nowhere to explain the butterfly effect to us.
Yeah. Ashton Kutcher is the Gingerdead Man in Gingerdead Man 4.
Ooh.
I mean, what else he's got going on right now, you know?
Making cringe apologies towards his friend who's a rapist and humanizing him.
Ew, gross. Anything else you have to say about Gingerdead Man 3?
Let's see.
Man who takes notes when he watches these. Couldn't be me.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything else of like significance, really. Honestly, really not. I felt like there was not even much happening anyway, that like notes just felt a little like extra work just to be like, all right, what did I find? But this one to me was the most entertaining of the three. And it had enough goofy moments to satisfy my interest.
Definitely
Maybe because I was also bored as shit with the other two.
Definitely the bookends of this movie clearly were great.
Mm-hmm.
But, no David DeCoteau, though, so, tough competition. Gingerdead Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver versus Evil Bong 3, Wrath of Bong. Which one is better?
I would go with the Cleaver, honestly. I know, shocking.
Yeah, I'd probably say
Evil Bong 3, that one I remember nothing really going on. That one was just kind of like almost same old, and it just kind of got stale at that point.
For me, I guess I'd also have to give it to like Saturday Night Cleaver. Even though if you look at my ranking, it's probably gonna be like below Evil Bong 3 on my list. I guess in like entertainment wise, I guess it's better. But like as an actual movie, I would say Evil Bong 3 is better. Because arguably Evil Bong 3 has the consistent plot, I guess, compared to the aimlessness of Gingerdead Man 3.
Yep.
But if we have nothing else left to say about the Gingerdead Man trilogy, it's time to pick which one is the better of the three films. Cole, which one? Well, I mean, I already know which one. You said it yourself.
I kind of mentioned it a couple times already, but I'll say it again. Saturday Night Cleaver.
Clearly the first one, baby.
Yep.
It's better than any sleep aid you need to go to sleep. I have a tougher call to make because I did like the second one more than you. And while the third one has the strong beginning and end, the middle is so nothing to me. I think I have to give like the slightest of edge to Gingerdead Man 2 simply because David DeCoteau gives it that like little push ahead. If Gingerdead Man 3 had like a David DeCoteau scene show up, like have a scene where he's rollerblading, he has two hunky boys like next to him on each side, then I probably could give it a Gingerdead Man 3, but I think I have to give it to 2. Just by like a hair. Like if David DeCoteau wasn't in Gingerdead Man 2, like it would be like a tie pretty much. But he's in 2, so I can give it to him. I can give it to 2. So we got another tie. We can't agree on trilogies anymore. It's over. It's Jover.
It's Jover.
Yeah, Blood Rain ruined it for us. Now we're never in sync ever again.
Fuck you, Uwe Boll. Actually, no. Uwe Boll, your movies are great. Don't hurt me, please.
Uwe Boll, please don't go like hole and box the shit out of him. We need him for future episodes.
I'm not ready.
Because
I
the
can't
the
box for
who
my
said that
life.
wasn't Cole who said that.
If it's
That's
Wii boxing,
Timmy.
maybe.
That was Timmy said that. He just came out of nowhere and said
No,
that. And
no, that was
Timmy from
Jules.
Tim Jong Un Productions.
No,
Go
no,
to
no, that
him.
was Jules. That was the Walrus Man.
Oh, okay. Uh, but yeah, with that, now we can move on to questions. And if you have questions, ask them. I actually, we have 3 questions actually, and we got 2 bonus ones I added on,
Ooh.
considering that this is the last episode of Nefarious Reels this year. The next episode will come out in
Oh,
2024.
cringe.
So, our first question is from Robert, which is, as Americans, do you feel patriotism for your city or state? I would say
um,
yes,
I would say
like to
just
a
for
degree.
the. I would say more for my state and region, really, because you gotta adapt to that Midwest ideology, and I do every time.
I
Because I'm at that point in winter. Because yesterday it was very windy, and a couple times I would say it wouldn't be that cold without the wind.
True. I have that patriotism as well, mainly because I like dunking on the other states. Be like, hey, Cole, your accent is weird, unlike mine, a Californian. Haha. Take that, scrub. But that's really it. It's just really just dunking on other states, pretty much. Because I'm honestly not
Fun.
the biggest fan of California either, but I don't think most people aren't that big of fans of their states, really. But if someone else from a different state makes fun of them, you're clearly gonna trash talk them.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if you go to Wisconsin, we honestly, no matter what, we always shit on Illinois. I mean, we literally have a term for them called fibs.
Oh damn! Fucking got them.
Yep.
Does Illinois have their own football team?
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
Yes. Yeah, you got the Green Bay Packers, you got the Chicago Bears.
Oh yeah, they got the
I mean,
Bears.
you got the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings, where that whole division, it's just everybody versus the Packers, really,
Wow.
in terms of fandoms and who to root against, and yeah.
And your team Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'm rooting for
Yep.
you because I don't really care about sports. Also, because the Chargers had one of the worst games ever, so I can't root for them anymore.
I was keeping eyes on that game.
I
Mostly
wasn't, but I was
well,
getting
not
updates
even
from
just
other
like for the
people.
game, because it was fantasy football purposes.
Anyway, next question is from Mattias. What's the best film from your favorite filmmaker that you'd introduce to someone who's never seen a film from said filmmaker? Cole, answer this question for me because I think you know the answer.
My stepbrother's a vampire.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I did for film club. That's a lot of people's first DeCoteaus.
Yeah.
And some people didn't see the vision because they suck and they just hate good movies.
Well, you definitely love Fred Claus, though.
I've already seen Fred. I seen Fred Claus in theaters.
Oh, good. Then you got to
Don't
see
you
it in its full
question me
experience, the way it was
on Fred
supposed to.
Claus. I was there when it was in theaters.
Same here. All right, we got 3 for Team Fred Claus now.
But if I had to pick a more serious director,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't really go out of my way to watch more serious directors, honestly.
Wow.
Like, I don't have a go-to director that's like, whoa, I gotta watch everything in their filmography. Oh wait, what am I talking about? Zack Snyder right now. Dawn of the
Oh, god
Dead.
damn it.
Dawn of the Dead, I think so far is his best work. I'd recommend to everyone. That or Sucker Punch, because Sucker Punch is the funniest one. You hate it because you don't
I was
see
bored out of my
you
mind with
don't
Sucker
see
Punch.
the Snyder vision like I do
It
in
is
Sucker
literally
Punch.
one of the ugliest looking movies I've ever seen.
You didn't think it was awesome when they were in the Nazi zombies section, the Call of Duty zombies section, where they're just killing everything.
No, not really, because Zack Snyder doesn't know how to develop characters or develop chemistry or anything,
She
really.
morbs, Cole. She morbed all over them.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm more. I guess if I guess Wes Anderson would be a good answer if I had to show someone from them.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think I would probably just go with like Fantastic Mr. Fox Because that's like the easiest one I think you can ease
That would
someone
be
in.
a good
Like,
one.
check out this stop
That's
motion
definitely a good
animated
one.
movie, and then you can ease them into the more extreme Wes Anderson styles because they're going to be a bit more adjusted to his
Because
style.
then they'll used to what his style and
Like,
his
they'll
just
be more familiar
directing
to
prowess.
it. Then
Yeah, because like if you go into like Asteroid City or French Dispatch, you might be a little caught off guard with just his quirky flair and substance
his
material.
quirky uwu style, his
Mm-hmm.
uwu quirky baby style.
Ooh woo woo. Yep.
Ooh uwu uwu oh oh please,
Ooh
please, Mr.
woo.
Obama, please get me out the hole. I'll do anything. Anything. Yes,
Obama
please. During the parish.
soda.
How about you? I gave a couple answers. What about you, my boy?
Uh, I'll give a couple too just to balance it out. But if I had to go with my favorite director, who right
That's
now I would
Villeneuve, right?
say is Denis Villeneuve. Yep. If it's to introduce them, I would honestly say Dune. I think Dune would be a good starting point. Even though it's his most recent movie, it's just kind of one of those blockbusters where it gets you kind of set in the mood right away with what's going on. Because, like, if you introduce them to Enemy, depending on their tastes, I think they would be turned off no matter what. Because that is a movie I know is not going to be for everybody.
Okay, here's a question.
Most likely.
I know I'm cutting in. Do you name another director? Then I'll ask you a question relating to this one.
Okay. Let's see. Other directors who I have to look. Now this has to make me look. Fuck it. How about just let's go Todd Haynes. Wait, no, maybe not Todd Haynes. That might be a
No.
little too
You already said
deep.
Todd Haynes. You gotta
Okay.
commit to it.
Sorry. Okay. I'll say it. Safe.
All right.
His movie Safe was definite. It is a movie that's a little more interpretive with what it does, but I kind of loved how everything plays out in it. But it will say it again. I was very glad to not watch it during the COVID lockdowns because that would have put my mental health in even more of disarray because it was just not even like scary creepy, but just kind of unsettling to where I just would have had another panic attack and then just wanting a brown paper bag just to breathe in.
Okay. Here's a question for
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Following the rules of the question, David Lynch. Because first you think the easy answers go, well, clearly you recommend Elephant Man, but Elephant Man is like such an outlier to like the rest of like David Lynch's filmography that it's like almost an impossible. You can't choose that one because it's so different.
You really can't. Because I would say Eraserhead, but then I'm like, oh right, it's so weird as fuck. Like most of his other movies.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what you would say.
Maybe Blue Velvet. It's definitely kind of one of the more straightforward ones, but that stuff still kind of gets weird too. Maybe what's the other one that everyone remembers? Mulholland Drive, I guess, because like the first like 2/3 are pretty straightforward as well.
Takes so many weird turns. Though.
It's pretty good. Weird turns, but it stays
it's still
pretty
good,
on the road until like that last third, and it goes completely off the rails, and then you lose the plot.
Then it just and then you're just kind of like, wait, what just happened? Like, where am I now?
Yeah, I think arguably Baby Blue Velvet might be like the best option out of like all of them.
Baby Blue Velvet. Featuring Kyle MacLachlan from Showgirls.
It never ends. Well, we didn't really recommend Blue Velvet, but still.
Yeah, exactly. But
I'm pretty sure Blue Velvet's my favorite David Lynch right now, actually. It might be either that or Elephant Man.
I still have to watch that one. I do have it on Criterion, though.
It's really good. I gave it like a 9 out of 10, I believe. Because, I hated it.
Yeah, you obviously hated it.
Here, let me check my rating. Okay, no, I have Elephant Man a little higher. On my Criterion ranked, I have Elephant Man a little higher at 18, but then Blue Velvet's at like 20.
Okay.
But yeah. Now, our third question, or technically our last one that was submitted to us, is from Leo, which is, who would you say is the most fascinating bad movie auteur? and who has the most to say? Now, there's my obvious answer, but I'm gonna hold off on saying him. We're gonna go for an even more obvious answer, which is Neil Breen, naturally.
Yeah, that was like first thing I thought of, Neil Breen.
Like, what's interesting, because his films are like really deep, and he probably thinks it has like a ton of messages in them as well and deeper meaning.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all really funny. But I think something, but because he has all these like deep, he feels like he has all these deeper meanings. Because I think he's aware of the joke. Like everyone, he knows everyone laughs at his movies. But the difference between him and Tommy Wiseau is that Tommy Wiseau saw this is like, oh, let me keep making comedies. But since Neil Breen has all these deeper messages, he can go like, okay, they find entertainment in my films, but they don't get it. So that allows him to keep making the movies as he does because they don't get it. He can just keep making the movies that he wants. He doesn't have to try to appeal to them because they don't see his vision.
Exactly.
Which is why I'm so hyped when the sequel, what is it? Cade's Landing?
Cade the Tortured Crossing.
Yeah, Cade the Tortured Crossing. I can't wait when that gets a physical release and I can buy that on DVD because I don't think it's out yet. And I'm gonna buy that and I'll own it.
No, I don't think so.
It's not out yet.
I got to see that. I got to see that in theaters.
Yeah, fucking rub it in, you bastard. Fuck you.
It was
I hate you.
So fun. I saw that on the same day as Old Boy.
Which one was better?
The
trick question. It's clearly Cade's the Tortured Soul.
It is Cade. I mean, if we're talking in actual filmmaking, it's obviously Old Boy because it's Old Boy. But yeah, I mean, Cade was the most entertaining.
As like a real cinematic experience, clearly it's Cade. Cade wins.
It's clearly Cade. Mm-hmm.
But the one that you were thinking I was going to say first is David DeCoteau, not just because, Ninja Jedi loves it so much, but I do think he is fascinating because he's done so many movies and he's covered like so many genres of stuff, and there is like a kind of a history because there's like his like early Full Moon stuff that he's worked on, and then you see like a lot of his later stuff, and then you can see more of his like skin flick kind of passion projects he wants to work on, and now he's doing these like Lifetime movies. Like he's been in this business for like a really long time, and he's done like so many like different things with it that is actually genuinely interesting. Like it's easy to go, oh haha, Ninja Jedi likes David DeCoteau films because he's a bad director and all that, but I genuinely do kind of find it like really, even if the films generally suck, I am so intrigued with the guy and like how much he's like put into like the film industry, even if it's barely a real blip on the meter, or it's not like some like massive like it's not like a massive like commitment, or not a commitment, what's the word, it's not like a like there's not a big ripple with David DeCoteau ever, but because he's done like so much and he has his own like little corner, and he's like, so like I would love if someone made a David DeCoteau biopic, even if it's like just a fake made humorous one, like something like like Dewey, what was it, Dewey Howard or something, what's like the fake music biopic called? It's like Dewey Howard or Richard Dewey.
Oh, Dewey Cox,
something like that, or like
the one with John C. Reilly,
or the Weird Al biopic, the fake biopic, something like that.
Yeah, I think the one with Harry Potter.
Yeah, something like that would be like really cool. Or hell, if David DeCoteau released like a memoir, I would love to buy it and just read it and just like know about like his life and like his work in the film industry and his like, because he's been in it for decades, and that's like genuinely like interesting. It's not like a It's not like because like, oh, Tommy Wiseau's interesting, but he's made The Rube and that's like interesting. And Neil Breen has like his visions, like his but thing, though. Yeah, but like David DeCoteau, he's been in it for like so long.
That is true. But I mean, Neil Breen, he's got Double Down, Fateful Findings.
Yeah, but he's recent though.
Now.
And even if you look at like known bad directors of like the earlier age, like even people like Uwe Boll, he's only around for like probably like the 90, 2000 stuff. And even like Ed Wood, who's notorious, he's only got his like small collections from his era. David DeCoteau spans like decades, and that's so interesting. And that's what makes David DeCoteau really interesting to me. It's not just, yes, he's made film that I find hilarious and love, but if it was just that I find this couple of films he made funny, that would just kind of be it. But it's just, like his legacy and all that, like really kind of sticks out to me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what makes me kind of want to really sit down and dedicate watching it. Like when David DeCoteau passes away, I will like genuinely be upset because that's like a man who's had like his whole life dedicated to film, even if they're not good or like well remembered. It's just over now. It's just done. That's all we got left is his movies. Fuck, man. Anyway, but
Well, you know what
after
they
that
say,
whole
legends live
analogy,
forever.
yeah. Well, now that I had that whole analogy and a little bit ending on that bit of that downer note, what about you? Got any other bad movie
Um,
auteurs?
oh, I mean, you already explained it well, Neil Breen, obviously.
Yeah.
No.
If you can't think of any, that's fine.
I'm trying to look real
You know
quick.
who's an awful bad movie director
Paul
guy?
W.S. Anderson?
No, clearly Denis Villeneuve.
Oh,
Naturally,
fuck you.
you could talk about him.
No.
You could probably say Uwe Boll.
I mean, Uwe
Yeah,
Boll.
Uwe
Oh
Boll.
my god. James Nguyen. Mr. Birdemic.
Oh yeah, him. Well, I mean, he's made
Yeah.
3 of them. He's making a 4th. Maybe that'll be the next trilogy recommendation. Birdemic.
Maybe.
I mean, it could be. You got
Oh.
until April before you got to recommend. One of us has to recommend the next 3 Evil Bong movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got Sam Moravich from Ben and Arthur.
Ben and Arthur.
That masterpiece. How about, everyone's favorite Daddy Derek Savage?
Oh yeah, well he's got his whole legacy, his
Mm-hmm.
infamous legacy.
Have you or about to see the Virus Wars movie soon?
Probably not.
Because it's $5 to rent on Vimeo.
Never heard of it.
His newest one that just dropped.
No, I haven't seen it. Nope. Anyway,
I mean, your name is in the credits though.
look, it's
From
about the
teaser he
timing.
put on YouTube.
I need the perfect moment. Like, I'm waiting for my physical copy to come in the mail. Okay, it hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like, if I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna watch it right. Okay, Cole.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's all the questions that we got, unless someone sent in more.
All right.
No.
I got one more.
Okay, one more. Okay.
Since it's near the end of the year, you know how in July we did our worst movies of the year?
Oh yeah, that was gonna be my question.
I was about to say, should we do 10 worst or 5 worst?
Well, we've seen a lot of movies at this point. I was gonna say best and worst films we saw this year.
Oh yeah, we can do best and worst.
Yeah. Well, we're doing really good on time. We're at like an hour and a half right now.
Nice.
So we can just do our top 3, the 3 films
Okay.
on the podium for best and worst.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just bring up my list.
Yeah, I got my list up.
Okay, well, if you already have your list off, you can start with like your like 3rd best.
All right. So currently,
Yeah, and these are 2023 movies specifically.
I just saw that my third. Well, I'm gonna put it down lower on the list. So like my fun third best right now is Cade the Tortured Crossing.
Oh, well, I mean, naturally. Well, that's not your
Well, I
number
mean, of
1. What's
course.
wrong with you?
I have a couple other good ones, but if I put it, it's probably obviously, because it's Neil Breen, it might be more middle of the list, but if I had to go like a legitimate number 3 to be more serious, it would be Asteroid City from Wes Anderson this year.
Yeah, that was my number 8 for this year was Asteroid
Very good.
City.
Very good.
Okay, well, my number 3 was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Great
Okay.
animated movie. I think my only flaw is that this felt it wasn't much of a full movie. It really did just feel like set up for like the sequel. Like I felt like this could have been better if it was just a straight movie, but I get why they split it in half.
That's fair.
That's what kind of like dragged it down for me. Still very good though. Ironically, it's not even my
still
highest rated
super good.
animated movie of this year actually. We'll swap over to 3rd worst film we saw this year.
Third worst. I was looking at my list again, and then I had to I flip-flopped a couple movies, but third worst for me is Cocaine Cougar.
I didn't see any other cocaine movies other than Cocaine Bear.
It was, yeah, I mean, they had like Cocaine Shark and Cocaine Cougar and Tubi, and I was at that point just like,
Why not?
people are really just cashing in on this Cocaine Bear premise, so I mean, I said, why not? Fuck it. I'll watch Cocaine Cougar. And
They
I
shouldn't.
shit you not, all I remember was it's like, I think it's like 40 minutes. Oh, 50 minutes on Letterboxd, it says. It's like 50 minutes, but there's like 10 minutes of credits
Wow.
to make it literally feature length. And you're just kind of like, seriously? This is what you did? It's kind of pathetic.
All right. My pick for third worst film I saw this year was Slaughterhouse, which is
That is number 5 for me.
yeah, Slaughterhouse is really lackluster. It's clearly just we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
Slaughterhouse, haha. Except the
Oh,
sloth isn't really
got him.
scary. It's trying to be this comedy. It's like it's a very low bar. It's like if there's an art, there's like a way to do like murder animal movies, and this ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
Do
This
better.
one, yeah, that one was so. Would you even? I mean, it had stuff happening, but it was like all stupid at the same time. It just kind of. They didn't obviously do a good job with making anything interesting. They were just like, let's just get a puppet sloth and then we'll make him kill people. And that's the movie, everybody.
There's not even any good jokes in the movie either. Like, you know what's a
Yeah.
real, you know the scene where the lady's jogging, she's on the ground, and the sloth is moving towards her? You know what would be
Yeah.
funnier? If it took forever for the sloth to get to her, because sloths
It
are known to
would
be
have
slow.
been because
Like
they
she
are
stops
slow.
screaming really in fear because it's taking so long.
Do you remember that one scene in Austin Powers where Austin has the steamroller and the one guy's screaming, no, while the
Yeah,
steamroller is like slowly rolling by? It could have been like that.
nah.
No, but they're like, nah, that's too much work.
Okay, now second best movie you saw this year.
Second best for me is Across the Spider-Verse.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, you kind of already spoke its words already. It's fucking great. This is one of the two, I mean, one of the three movies, I should say, I gave a 10 out of 10 to, with the other obviously being my number one, and then, Neil Breen,
Yeah.
as per usual. But Across the Spider-Verse, somehow, even with, I would say modest expectations going into it with, the verse, Spider-Verse, and then going into this one, and then you're just like, by like the first 5 minutes, I was floored. And then as the movie kept on, I didn't want it to end really. It was one of those I had so much fun with that I kind of want to rewatch it on Netflix this weekend again. Because I forgot it's on there and I want to rewatch it again before the year ends.
All right. So my second favorite movie this year, and my favorite animated movie this year, was The Venture Bros. Radiant is the Blood of the Baboon Heart.
Oh, nice.
Like
I didn't really watch Venture Bros, so I just didn't really bother with the movie for right now.
I know I liked it a lot. Like you have to see pretty much all the Venture Brothers to like
That's what
enjoy
I
this movie.
figured.
You need a
Because isn't
high
it like,
IQ to understand the Venture Brothers. Radiant is the Blood of the Baboon Heart.
oh, damn it.
I don't know. I enjoyed it a
I
lot.
don't know. I've seen Fred Claus. I think I got that IQ.
Do you though? But yeah, I
Yes.
can't really say much because it's I don't know. It's great if you love the series.
Yep.
You'll love this movie. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like great humor. Highly recommend the show. Watch Venture. Basically, if there's anything to take from me, my love for this movie is watch the Venture Bros
Watch the
movie.
Venture Bros show
Yeah, it's really really good. I
and
highly
movie.
recommend it. Joe Swanson is in the series.
I just prefer to call him Kronk or fuck, what else was he in? He's in a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's the douche
Kronk is usually
deer
what I
in
think
Open
of.
Season.
Oh yeah, Smelly
Yeah,
it.
smelly it. He plays
Right.
I think Locke in Tack and the Power of Juju.
Oh, that unlocked a memory. Holy shit. I totally forgot about that movie.
No, it's a
Or
TV
show. I
show.
mean, jeez.
Tack, tack,
I don't know
tack.
why.
Tack in the Power of Juju.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, that unlocked something.
Alright, next, second worst film.
Second worst for me is 65 with Adam Driver.
Did not see that either.
I think it's on Netflix, but I would honestly avoid it because it's just a super boring dinosaur movie. with very little dinosaurs. It's really stupid. I only watched it because YMS's review of it was kind of funny, and I was like, "Oh God, this sounds like a treat." And then I should have taken a nap instead. I should have slept. I should have just avoided it and just sleep or
You
watch
should have.
something else.
Rip. My second worst is a film I don't think you've seen. It's called Freelance. It's
I've
a
heard of it
yeah, it's the
because I
John
only
Cena movie.
John Cena.
It's a lot about
John
him.
Cena.
It's about him being like kind of joining a friend or getting recruited by a friend as like a private militia or not mercenary
Okay.
group thing, and he's like being sent to protect this reporter who's talking to like a dictator, and the whole thing is like,
Okay.
I am not an evil dictator, that's just the Western world, blah blah. It's so bad. I
Is it
hated
just
it.
dumb, boring?
Yes, the action's dumb and boring. Everything's boring, and the
God.
movie ends with them being like, you know what? I'd rather be a family guy.
Oh.
Which sounds like a joke, but that's really how the movie ends. John Cena
Wait,
realizes he misses
that's
his
how
family.
it. Okay, nope. I thought you were joking.
Nope, he's like, I miss the action because I was a soldier, and now I'm just a dumb lawyer guy. And I'm going back in action. At the end of the movie, he's like, I'm going to be a family guy because it's about family. And
It's about family.
but instead of Vin Diesel showing up, no one shows up because it's not
Damn.
worth Vin Diesel's time.
Yeah, Vin Diesel was even like, nah, not for me, man.
Anyway, now the best movie we saw this year.
All right. So for right now, the best movie, I'm gonna see Poor Things on Thursday, and I don't know where that's gonna end up on the list. But my best movie of the year for right now is Past Lives.
Nope, haven't seen that either.
It's so good. It's from my genre. I'm not the biggest on like romance usually because I'm a lonely boy and
Until we get
everything about
together.
love makes me insecure about myself, but I loved how the story plays out in here. And I know there's like the criticisms of how like they aged as much because they show them both in like their 20s and like into their 30s, but I wouldn't say I didn't mind it, but I just really like the story of these two and how they kind of reconnected from childhood, and just the way that they just kind of find each other, and just knowing that they were just kind of almost meant for each other in some ways was kind of beautifully told. And this was also like a directorial debut, so it was even that more damn impressive. And I'm
Nice.
super excited to watch it again. I hope it gets a fair amount of Oscars. I
I
don't
can't
think it's
wait
gonna be
for
a
it
Best
to
Picture
lose
nominee.
all of them to Oppenheimer.
It's gonna be, oh yeah, they are really gonna. And then I'm gonna be like, Oppenheimer's even more overrated now.
What
And
if
show
Oppenheimer
Cillian
wins
Murphy's
every
cock,
single Oscar
Christopher.
except for Best Picture and it loses to Barbie? That'd be like the ultimate like girl
That
boss
would be the
move.
ultimate troll job. Oh God, I can imagine.
Anyway, my number one is Talk to Me because it's a really good horror movie
That's
and it
a
was
really
so
good one.
awesome. And also, it's a directorial debut technically
Yep,
by some
it is.
YouTubers, which is kind
Yeah,
of
two
crazy.
YouTubers actually made a really good movie.
And
I
it's
mean, I never watched Raka Raka, but seeing their passion project go out and then seeing them get all the success on a budget of like, what was it, $4 million, makes me so happy,
and it was
especially with just
really
an
really
original
good. And
concept.
that's what it's important thing. It's a really great movie. It's not just a bunch of they made a horror movie, made a lot of money because people showed up because it's a horror movie. Like it's like a fresh
Mm-hmm.
idea, and there's great camera works, and all the characters are believable, and none of them are like annoying or anything. It's so fucking good.
That
Ooh,
ending, oh,
so good.
so good.
Anyway, now worst movie.
I after I said it was Quantum Mania before, I had more afterthoughts on it on what actually I would say is my worst. But I would have to say, now it's The Flash. That movie pissed me the fuck off with everything it did. It's another one of those where it obviously does the, the you dig on multiverses, but it's like the Flash just going, hey, I'm just going to go back in time so I can save my mom so she doesn't get murdered and that my dad will get acquitted from prison and all that, yada, yada, yada. But then every time I go back, I just fuck up time more. And then all this other bullshit happens. And then I meet this other Barry. And because that's probably what Universal thinks of what they mean by they, them, that's why there's two Flashes, and two Ezra Millers. But no.
Damn.
But it's also... And then it also just goes... I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of the ending again, and then I go back in time, but then I go back to my regular universe where I think it's my regular universe, and my dad is acquitted of the crimes, but then I find out it's not Ben Affleck Batman, it's George Clooney Batman.
Wait,
and that was
George Clooney actually shows up in the movie?
Yes, George Clooney shows up in the final 5 fucking seconds of the movie, and I was in a theater. If I was at home watching that, I probably would have taken a pillow and chucked it at the wall or a door.
You would have just used it to suffocate yourself?
Or just bury my face in it and just scream eternally. It's also just one of the most ugliest movies I've ever seen from a CGI standpoint. It was honestly disgusting to look at. And also Ezra Miller is just, take away their crimes and everything that they've done, they're just not a good actor in this. They sucked as both Barrys and just so annoying. Even Michael Keaton, who was the best performance, he looked like he just didn't give a shit. And it's just that kind of nostalgia bait fan service that they're the producers were probably going, oh, you know how this is what's going to bring the fans in. Who gives a shit that the DCEU is going to be done after Aquaman 2 in a couple months, or as at this point in time, this weekend? But hey, we'll bring back everybody, and then we'll do a CGI compilation of every Superman, and we'll show Christopher Reeve, rest in peace, but we're just distasteful assholes. And they even show Nick fucking Cage as Superman in CGI form, and it fucking sucked. Suck my nuts, Warner Brothers, and Andy Muschietti.
All right. Well, my worst is Sisu, and I think I bitched about it enough in previous episodes.
Yeah.
That I hate it.
No.
I hate everything it stands for. And if it ever gets recommended for Nefarious Reels, I'm
not going
to quit forever.
It's at my 13th worst, but still, it is. It's in a list of just a bunch of bad shit. And I only watched that because you and Timmy were even Timmy saw it and he was not big on it. And I'm like, okay, I might as well have to check this out.
You're like, so I gotta see.
So I got a nice warm tortilla for it. And then boom, I watched it and I was like, this is what people are saying is good.
They're like oh, it's like old man John Wick. It's like John Wick, and it's like, shut up.
He's a gold miner and kills Nazis, and it's boring as shit. It's so dumb. Some of the violence was fun, yeah, but you got these Germans speaking English, fluent English with an accent.
Which wouldn't bother me so much, but you have other characters that don't speak English in the movie.
But they're
just
fucking Finland.
Might as well just commit to it.
It annoyed
and the women have no reason to be there except for the cool shot when they're walking away with the guns looking cool.
Oh yeah, that shot.
So that way you can have it in your trailer. Go look guys, there's girl bosses in this movie.
Yeah, that's it. They don't have any other development. They're just
They don't kill the dog, and then they go, haha, what if we say in the trailer that the dog doesn't die? And it's just well, fuck you. Why don't you? But we can kill the horse. We can't kill the dog, because then people will be upset.
Yeah, we can't kill a dog because that's a no-no, but killing horses, that's okay.
Yeah, fuck this movie.
Fuck you, Sisu, and fuck everybody who thinks it was a good movie.
Yeah. Anyway, I got one last question. This can be long or this can be quick. It depends on how long. But what's your movie watching goals for next year?
Ooh. Yeah, that's interesting because I was a little more sparse with how I did mine, but I think I might try and just make a list of directors' filmographies I want to finish and then just kind of set it at that, really.
Yeah, I have.
That's one list. Another one, I got to finish up the couple of film club movies I haven't watched yet.
I gotta
I
do
got to
that.
do that still.
I gotta get started. I have so many on the backlog. I just haven't got around watching them because I always end up working Sundays now. So I
Mm,
have like no time to actually
that
watch them for a
sucks.
meeting. Yeah, it
Yeah.
fucking sucks ass. Which means I can't
And
recommend accused absolute garbage anymore because there's a high chance I won't be there, and people will be mad at me for it, or more mad at me because I didn't show up.
that's true. And then I have one more one because I'm just more, this is just for me. And I kind of love watching those, like, obscure, disturbing ass movies. I would, because I took a screenshot and put it on my phone. The
On your fucking
disturbing movie.
phone.
Yeah. I got the disturbing movie iceberg from Wendigoon and was thinking about checking a couple of those other ones out. Not like the ones at like, the lower level that are like on the dark web. And I think owning a copy would definitely put me in like
A
an
watch
FBI watch
list.
list or something. But I'm thinking of like those ones that are like at 4 and 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just because and there's already like a site for that called Effed Up Movies, and they already have those messed up movies on there, and it's an interesting site enough, and then, just knock more disturbing shit off.
I think my goals, like watching, catching up on all the film club recommendations that I've missed all these
Mm-hmm.
time, definitely want to do that. I have two.
Yep.
I have a summer of like I think it'd be cool if next year I try to like watch a film director's filmography like every month because doing this like Zack Snyder like watching for film
Mm-hmm.
Rebel Moons actually was kind of cool. I think I want to try to do some of that with people who have like maybe like 10 or 15 movies under their belt because that'd be kind of
Yeah.
interesting. Like I'm thinking like January I'll do like Wes Anderson because I think I own like almost all of them anyway. So like might as well maybe do like Taika Waititi because he doesn't have a lot, and maybe some more obscure ones too. And I think a second thing is I'm gonna try to aim to watch just more films that I just
Mm-hmm.
own because I got so many movies that I own
That
that I
too.
don't watch.
I do too. That's all I should say. I should add that because there's a lot of Blu-rays I've had on the shelf for a couple years, and I just kind of
Like I got all
forgot
these
to. But
films and I just don't, they just sit there. And like I have like a ton of bad movies that I could just recommend and I'll just recommend and I keep recommending some
mm-hmm.
like random thing I just saw somewhere else. So I think I'm gonna aim to try to watch more movies that I own and recommending just
Yeah.
stuff that I already own instead of just buying more new. And yeah, I think those are my main goals. Kind of finally catching up on all the film club recommendations I've missed, watching
Good.
director filmographies for like 12 directors filmographies, and just
Mm-hmm.
watching stuff that I own pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's also like a bunch of criterions I have that I definitely should be watching. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in the same boat. That all fits in the watching things that I own category, so we're
Mm-hmm.
good. But I think that that's all the questions. So now we get to move on to recommendations. And
Yeah,
since we
baby.
skipped this episode for the trilogy, that means I get the retro pick and I get to choose
Woo!
something. And I was a bit flip floppy on recommending this or maybe something else, but I decided, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. We're gonna do it anyway.
Ooh.
I was lucky. I spoke of David DeCoteau multiple times this episode, and I realized when I was thinking of recommendation, we never actually talked about a David DeCoteau horror movie. And since this is the first episode, next episode
What
will be
you're not mentioning the giant killer bees? That movie made me shit my
so
pants.
that was more of a smutty skin flick movie than a
Gay
horror
porn.
movie. You know,
Softcore gay porn.
potato potato. But since this next episode will be the first one
Uh-huh.
of the new year, it makes sense that should we
Okay.
talk about David DeCoteau's first film that he made that wasn't porn. So we're gonna do 1986's Dream Maniac. Yeah, Dr.
I already
Dream
have it watch listed.
Dream Maniac, one word, baby. Let's go.
Woo!
Yep. So Cole, you have the
All
modern
right.
recommendation.
Yep. So I also had a few in mind, but then I was thinking You know how this year we started off the year basically with Joey King with the
Yes.
Kissing Booth trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought might as well do another Joey King movie just to start off the new year again, but just with a modern pick. And I just because you've seen this one, I haven't, but the story I've obviously mentioned before on the podcast and how it kind of has a home connection. We're
Oh
doing
no.
Slender Man.
No, not this. I get well. At least I'll get to tell my theater experience of watching Slender Man
Oh
again.
yes,
I've told it
and
before, but I get to tell it again.
yeah, and I can do a history lore background
Yeah,
on what happened, more in depth a little.
again, because we probably talked about Slender Man before. I remember
We
that.
did for some reason. I forgot what it was,
I think it
but
was about theater experiences, and I told my theater experience of watching
I
Slender
think that's what
Man,
it
and
was.
that's what brought that up.
Yeah, and this movie got banned in both my county and then Milwaukee County, the one right like to the one to our right, because it's in just like so close by that they were like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't show the movie here because of what happened those couple years ago.
Yeah. So, if you don't want to get spoiled for Dream Maniac or Slender Man, how about watching those movies before that? And also like and subscribe and ask us questions so we can answer them.
Yeah, please ask us questions
Pretty please ask us
with
questions.
a
We're
cherry
very
on top.
warmly.
May I have some more, sir?
Please, sir, may I have some more? And you all have a good day and a happy Morbius.
Happy Gingerdead
Happy
Man.
Ginger to Happy David DeCoteau. Happy New Year.
Happy fuck you, Charles Band,
Uh,
and your directing
and also
filmography.
happy thank you, Charles Band, for the good films you've actually helped executively produce and such. Happy New Year, because the New Year will come and go.
Happy
Later.
Christmas, happy Kwanzaa,
Happy
happy Boxing
Hanukkah.
Day,
Happy New Year's
happy
Eve.
other holidays I'm forgetting.
Yep. Uh, bye bye.
Bye.